Before we start the video, I just wanted to say thank you for the insane amount of support I received since the last one. It's absolutely incredible just how supportive everyone's been. I've taken into account all of the feedback I got, and honestly, I just gotta say, the game is way better now. I've spent a lot of time making unfinished games on Roblox, which is how I learned everything I know today. But one thing I noticed was ruining a lot of games visually, even off of Roblox, was when every asset in the game felt disconnected, like it doesn't belong there, which can lead to games feeling cheap and low quality. This is something I aim to avoid. The main way I did this was by planning out all my assets in advance. By listing absolutely everything I would need, I could essentially remove and add things that I think wouldn't fit. Don't get me wrong, I did remove one or two assets because of how lazy I am, but I think I made a pretty large set of assets. I also made sure to create a color palette that would complement these assets, while maintaining my vision for what I want with the game. Unarguably, one of the greatest elements of Dying Light was its amazing damage system. You could slice limbs, crush skulls, and it was awesome. It really helped to elevate and showcase the impact of weapons. This is something I also aim to achieve. Now, unfortunately, I don't have too much experience with Roblox Gore, so I went with a rather simple system. I just swap out the model for each limb depending on what you do. It's not perfect, but it's pretty simplistic, and I think it works just fine. In the future, I plan on adding more specific damage models, so hopefully it'll be more reactive. Dying Light has some amazing weapons. You could really feel the impact of every single attack. That's something I really want to achieve, but it's easier said than done. Making impactful weapons takes a massive combination of different things, and I'm making really good progress. Right now I have a couple guns implemented, one melee weapon, and a ton of models I didn't code in yet, since I'm mostly focused on getting down the base systems for the weapons. Here's a small preview of the current weapon system. As you can see, they're improving, but of course there's always more work to be done. Animations are something that have been plaguing my game for a long time. I never really had too much skill when it came to Roblox animations, so I tended to struggle to make them look nice. However, recently, after the previous devlog, I was approached by two highly skilled animators, Vin and Hexus, who have really been a great help. I can say confidently that without these two animators and their hard work, along with the feedback they provided me, that this game would never have been able to realize its full potential. Now, this is a topic I've been wanting to cover for a while. I devised it a long time ago, but I think it still applies to nearly every aspect of my game. And it's something I like to call Parkour Flow. Parkour Flow is essentially the state of flow, but for parkour. Essentially, it embodies freedom, and there's a lot of things I have to do to achieve this. Essentially, what I mean by continuous movement is that the player's movement should never be abruptly halted or changed for any reason whatsoever. It doesn't matter if you're sliding, drop kicking a zombie, or roll landing. When you break a player's movement flow for any reason, it has the potential to essentially ruin the entire free running experience for them. Now, of course, I can use this to my advantage. For example, if the player were to take fall damage, then I would stop the flow to show the severity of their mistake and hopefully drive them to avoid making the same mistake in the future. Something I noticed can really ruin the experience of parkour in-game is when your inputs are entirely ignored. This has the potential to be extremely frustrating. When you mash the spacebar but don't jump, or when you try to do a parkour move and the game refuses to react. If you want to achieve parkour flow, I think you should avoid this entirely. But to add on to responsiveness, you need to take into account sound design. Having crisp impacts, whooshes, and reactions can really sell every single action you take in the game. Having an impact on the world around you is important. Well, that covers all of the features I've added. My next devlogs will mostly cover the creation of specific game aspects like parkour and combat. But once again, thank you for all the feedback I received. If you have any particular suggestions or questions, feel free to check my Discord server.